This is The Healthy Healer, where true voice is your medicine. This is where we help doctors and other healers navigate through the challenging times by learning from the best minds in the healing industry. Laugh, cry, and be surprised. It's entertainment, education, and inspiration so you can continue to be the unique and amazing healer you were destined to be. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to The Healthy Healer with Dr. Fred.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Fred, and welcome to the weekly short done by The Healthy Healer. And I do these each week to kind of dovetail on the back end of whatever got talked about in the original full broadcast earlier in the week's podcast. This week we had none other than Eva Benari here, and she was simply amazing. But without question, one thing about her is that she is what most people would call an alternative practitioner. What is it that makes alternative practitioners so damn compelling? That's what I want to know. Why am I drawn to alternative practitioners who know what they're doing and can speak confidently about what real healing is and come up with magical, simply, frequently apparent, miraculous recoveries for people who are in need of their own healing? The other thing is, who is not in the need of their own healing? You know, when I asked Eva this question earlier this week, she said people who are actually stuck to medicine, people who are stuck to the present conventional system, are people who are not appropriate for her care. She wants people to be unstuck from that system so that they can consider alternative ways of healing. What's very interesting is that all of these alternative ways of healing are frequently much more ancient, much more aged than anything that is now considered conventional. When things shifted in the early 1900s, somehow the terms got shifted as well. And what became conventional was actually the newest way of taking on medical problems. Very simple, symptom focused, and very much aiming at the alleviation of symptoms as a way of taking on and putting an end to the disease state without success regularly. Frequently, this was an unsuccessful effort. These were people who were taking pills or having procedures that were not actually effective in removing the disease and bringing health back to the seeker. But alternative practitioners, those who are embedded in the more ancient arts of providing medical care, they seem to have an inside track on providing care that actually creates healing at levels that, in our present way of thinking, far exceed anything that could be expectable. Indeed, far beyond imaginable. So Eva is clearly one of those players. When we look at her resume, we see about 12 or 14 different certifications, many of which are in areas where most people really don't understand the details. And for her, they all fit in together. The idea is she's like a consummate alternative provider, and indeed speaks with a real smile about the need for self-love and the need for a full constitutional analysis, the need for listening, and the interesting aspect of how alchemy really can work to transmute whatever discomfort or dysfunction or imbalance you have into something that is actually healable. There's also a notion of the harmonizing, resonating effect that we have on the world around us that Eva addresses in her talk, and we address together. And that's something that is also undeniable as we look forward to what is it that creates healing. Now, many times on this show, and you have heard it and maybe read it in my books, I've spoken to at the center of all healing, the way I see it, is human connection. I don't think Eva would deny that, although she has tools and practices that utilize more than simply two people coming together in a connected form. She has ways of managing her listening of people and then of transforming the understanding of that they might have of the symptoms or the experiences that they are presently associating their life with. So Eva has an opportunity to take people who are ready for a new change and walk them through often a multi-step process to get them to realize what might be out of kilter. And sometimes she can do that from simple hair samples. She says they don't melt in the mail and they stay intact. And after a thorough constitutional evaluation, and with a piece of hair, she's able to determine what level of alchemy and intervention are likely to be most effective and to apply that to people even working remotely. Another interesting aspect of Eva is that she comes from a background of being super sick for very long and having so many doctors tell her that they didn't know what was wrong with her, or offer that it was all in her head and would require antidepressants and such for the rest of her life. All of which she naturally rejected, knowing that if you give the body what it needs, it will heal on its own, using whatever forces it uses to get that done. Eva is an amazing practitioner, an amazing woman, beautiful inside and out, and really up to making a positive difference in the world. It was a deep honor to introduce you to her on our guest spot on The Healthy Healer, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is someone who's making a difference in the world and has been driven forward often by, by supernatural beings, including angels. So Eva is somebody who gets her information from multiple different domains, and it's a pleasure to meet her and really get and understand that she's making a difference in the world for everybody who comes in contact with her, including me this evening. So thank you so much for listening to this show and for listening to The Healthy Healer. Make sure you tune in to Eva's episode. It's amazing. And enjoy it. And then give her a ring if it's something that you're interested in. TheElevateInstitute.com is where she is. And you can also find her on social media. And her notes are, her details are in the show notes. Thanks again for being part of the listenership of The Healthy Healer. If you like what you're hearing, as usual, please consider sharing it, liking it, commenting on it, and even subscribing to it, as this is what allows us to grow and gives the opportunity for the people who need to hear this conversation to actually hear it on their own. Thanks again. It's wonderful to have you as listeners, and we will catch you on the flip side. I love you. Bye for now.